ti kasto nga pasamak kaya nga
Mhm.
nakita tayo ti di kalman may panggap iti may isa nga pulis nga allegedly kasi hantemot may baga nga diretso tayo may baga nga iso nagat iso tinakay iso tinapasamak kurak pumat awan tayo ti jay, but then again based on the news nga nakita tayo, so yun nga nabaril, di ba, yung isang estranghero habang naglilinis ng baril. So unang-unang kananong dyan would be kung halimbawa mapatunayan, okay, na merong kapabayaan sa parte ng ating, kasi dito you can already glean that there is what we call negligence on the part of the police officer. So unang-unang tanong dyan would be, ano ba yung kanyang kakaraping kaso? So meron bang kaso kriminal dyan? Kasi it was a matter of accident. So, and of course, pwede ba pa siyang humarap sa ano pang kaso na hindi lang siya criminal in nature. So, pwede pa siyang harap administratively. So, ang sagot natin dyan ay yes. Kasi una dyan would be yung ating kasong kriminal. So, una dyan would be a criminal case kasi pwedeng reckless imprudence resulting in depende yan kung anong nangyari. Di ko kasi nabasa ng buo. Kung if that would result to a death, so that would be in homicide. So resulting to serious physical injury kung yan namang biktima ay nagtamo ng serious physical injury. Or that would also reckless imprudence resulting in less serious physical injury kung yan ay less serious yung consequence that as a result of that reckless imprudence. Okay, so bakit kasi sinasabi natin na reckless imprudence? So of course, kung sa definition per se ng reckless imprudence, yan yung kawalan ng pag-iingat ng isang tao, gaya ng in that case yung police. So syempre that would of course result to una dyan would be resulting in homicide kung namatay, or resulting in serious physical injuries pag seryoso yan, or less serious physical injury. So ito yung pwede niyang kaharapin na kaso. So pangalawa is pwede rin siyang haharap ng paglabag sa ating gun law ng Republic Act 10591 kung there is what we call improper handling of firearm. So pwede rin yan. Or pwede rin na, and of course, siyempre kung kakaharap ka kasi ng kaso kriminal, so di ba Article 100 of the Revised Penal Code, so nakapaloob dyan na yung lagi nating binabanggit na every person criminally liable is civilly liable. So with that, siyempre automatic na meron siyang civil liability. So kung may criminal liability siya, so automatically meron ng civil liability na pwede siyang managot sa damages, yung hospital expenses, okay, or possible loss of income sa pamilya ng biktima. So ito yung kanyang kakaharapin, civil liability, and automatiko dyan. So bukod sa kanyang kaso kriminal, maaari na rin siyang maharap sa administrative liability bilang police. So that can result to an administrative case for the neglect of duty or the conduct of unbecoming of a police officer. So ito yung mga pwede niyang kakaharapin. Okay, so anyway, pag pinag-usapan din natin yung reckless imprudence resulting in homicide, so ito na naman. Siyempre papasok yung mga ating mga kababayan or netizens. So siyempre, kung kaharap ng kaso yung isang police dito sa reckless imprudence, and then later on, they would see him outside. Diba? So sabi nga ng iba, diba? Akala ba natin kinasuhan siya ng reckless imprudence resulting in homicide or serious physical injury? So bakit hindi naman siya nakukulong? Okay, so yan na naman yung ating mga judgmental na netizen. Sasabihin na naman, bakit hindi siya nakukulong? Eh, di ba? Nakasuhan yan ng reckless imprudence resulting in homicide or resulting in serious physical injury or less serious physical injury. But then again, yung mga ganitong kaso kriminal is bailable. Ibig sabihin na pwede silang magpiyansa habang nililitis ang kaso. So we have to make it clear that your right to bail is a constitutional right. Kasi nga you are presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Mhm.
So hindi pa naman siya guilty. Kayo lang ang nagsasabi na guilty na siya. Dahil nga ano pa bang kailangang ebidensya? Eh nandyan na nga CCTV. So nandyan na yung CCTV, nandyan na yung biktima. So nag-file na siya ng kaso, but then moving on, lagi nating pinaklarify na depende yung ikakaso sa kanya. Kung that would constitute a bailable offense, gaya ng reckless imprudence resulting in homicide, so definitely kung bailable yan, he can post bail or pwede siyang magpiyansa habang nililitis ang kaso. Kasi of course, yung presumption, another constitutional right would come in, which is yung kanyang innocence, di ba? So, he is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Kasi sa kaso ng reckless imprudence resulting in homicide, so yung kanyang kulong might be 6 na buwan hanggang 6 na taon. So it depends upon the decision of the court and the level of negligence. So doon ibabase yung parusa na ipa-file sa kanya. But then again, definitely he might as well face administrative case na that would result to his suspension or dismissal from the service, or and of course that would, if when he will be dismissed from the service, it can result to possible forfeiture of his benefit. So yun yung mga consequence that he might be facing. So yun naman, kaya lang syempre moving forward as well, so ang tanong natin dyan minsan is syempre di tayo naman na Pilipino ay mapagpatawad, di ba sir? Minsan tatanungin natin kung pwede bang although yung ating reckless imprudence resulting in homicide might not be considered a public crime. Kasi nga hindi naman, wala namang, I mean, it is a matter of public interest, itong krimen na to. So, syempre yung tanong dyan would automatically be removed, or halimbawa, merong amicable settlement na papag-usapan between the suspect and the yung ating victim. So pwede ba yan? So although the law says it is a public crime, na it will not automatically remove the criminal case in case there is an amicable settlement. Kaya lang syempre marami kasing aspeto dyan sir na titingnan, di ba? Pwede kasi sa amicable settlement, halimbawa, the family's victim or the victim herself would execute affidavit of desistance. So, syempre, kung kung makikita naman natin na nagkapatawaran na sila and then wala naman ang magwi-witness doon sa ating police officer, so they have already talked with each other. So, depende na sa prosecutor if that would be already a ground for them to dismiss the case. So, yun naman yung mga nakikita nating anggulo tungkol dyan.
Okay. Attorney, so ganun sa may, klaro ta lang, no, that amicable settlement between the victim and the suspect, mawan mo't nung kwan, criminal administrative case ni suspect apo attorney?
Yun na yung sinasabi natin sir na it would not be automatic. Hindi yan automatic yung nawawala yung criminal case because of an amicable settlement. Kasi nga when you talk about reckless imprudence resulting in homicide, the way we see it, it is a public crime. Kasi wala namang hindi naman yung involved dyan. It's not an issue between two private individual, like for example sa issue ng bigamy, yung ating yung mag-asawa, di ba, yung bigamy, adultery. So hindi naman, it's not a private crime, rather it's a public crime. It's a matter of public interest. So ngayon, it will not result to an automatic uh, dismissal of the case pag nagkakaroon ng amicable settlement. Okay, kaya lang kasi, syempre, when you talk about amicable settlement, we're just presenting, we are not saying na, ganun pala, pwede palang mag-amicable settlement. No, definitely, according to the law, if that constitute a public crime, it will not translate that there is now automatic, okay, na mawawala yung criminal case. But then again, kaya lang kasi when you talk about amicable settlement, so syempre, isang bagay na mangyayari dyan would be the execution of affidavit of desistance ng biktima or yung pamilya ng biktima. Okay, so, and of course, syempre, meron na ring issue yan ng reglo sa mga danyos pertaining to civil liability, or meron ng, syempre, yung mga pwedeng mangyari dyan eh. So, ngayon, yung biktima naman, hindi na rin siya makikipag-operate, okay, sa ating prosecutor doon sa kaso na yan. So, ang problema ngayon, kung hindi siya, the victim will not, or the family of the victim, or any other witnesses will not, okay, will not anymore, or they will execute affidavit of desistance. Desistance, so ayaw nilang to actively participate with the case. So, syempre, magkakaroon ng problema doon sa ebidensya kasi kukulangin na ng ebidensya yung ating prosecutor. So, anong mangyayari doon? So, hindi may establish ng prosecutor yung administrative probable cause to pursue the case. So, ending would be the criminal case would be dismissed. Ngayon, ang tanong siguro na next, sir, is yung how about the administrative liability? Would also automatically translate that because of the amicable settlement, nawala yung criminal case, would also automatically translate to the removal or yung pagkawala ng ating administrative liability. So, hindi naman, sir. Depende na yon sa ating PNP affairs. Tama ba ako? Correct nila ako ng taga-PNP. So, PNP Internal Affairs Service, yung humawak dyan. So, nasa sa kanila na kung would that constitute okay, sufficient ground to establish for a reasonable mind to think that there was a crime committed. Okay, so yun naman yung requirement na proof. Okay, to prove administrative liability. Kasi hinahanap dyan is substantial evidence. So yun naman yung sir, hindi naman kasi proof beyond reasonable doubt ang hinahanap pag yung isang kaso is administrative liability. So yun lang kaibahan. So when we talk about substantial evidence, yan yung amount of relevant evidence which a reasonable mind might accept and adequate to justify a conclusion. So yun ang ibig sabihin ng ating substantial evidence. So mas mababa siya doon sa tinatawag nating proof beyond reasonable doubt, which requires what we call moral certainty. Okay, so magkaiba kasi yan eh. Yung antas ng admissibility ng proof magkaiba yung antas ng proof required. Kumbaga sa criminal case, mas mataas kasi ang antas ng proof na required sa criminal case kasi yun ang tinatawag nating proof beyond reasonable doubt. Ito naman kasi administrative case, the mere fact of filing of an information in court which would establish, for example, yung that there is okay relevant evidence which a reasonable mind might accept as adequate to justify a conclusion na meron talagang krimeng nangyari would already be sufficient ground for administrative liability. So yun lang yun. So mas mababa kasi substantial evidence ang requirement lang. So while it is true na yung ating kaso would be dismissed by the prosecutor, but then again, the police officer concerned might be liable for administrative liability. Pwede pa rin siyang masuspenso or pwede pa rin siyang matanggal sa serbisyo o depende na yon sa evaluation ng PNP Internal Affairs Service.
Okay. So, nalawag attorney, kung once nga the amicable settlement, iti partidos, when iti nagbaling nga biktima, automatic lata nga dalata iti
Yes.
administrative case.
Yes,
Kadagsanan, may kadserbisyo or masuspenso.
Yes.
How about?
Yes.
Iti lisensya nga gigam ti paltog. No, license ti tikunadan nga license revocation attorney. Lalo no masuspenso. Awang ka din ng comment because panusa na kadigiti pagiti license permit attorney ti paltog.
Posible yun, sir. That might be the immediate action that would be taken by the PNP while the police officer is under their custody. Kasi nga una dyan nagagawin would be, syempre there would be an immediate confiscation of the firearm that was used. Okay, because that would be definitely be used as an evidence in filing the case. And of course, dadaan yan ng tinatawag nating ballistic examination. And of course, that PNP or the police officer would be under their custody. So ngayon, moving on, pwede bang ma-revoke yan? Okay, eventually, okay, aside from the fact na i-confiscate yung baril sa kanya, so that can be possible. If there would be what we call, una dyan, there would be what we call criminal conviction. So if he will be convicted, so pwede ring ground yan for that firearm, the license of that firearm to be revoked. Okay, so or pwede namang kung nakitaan na yan ng gross negligence sa paggamit ng baril or there is administrative finding of misconduct. Okay? Or pwedeng depende na sa PNP kung makikita rin na there is what we call irresponsible gun holding on the part of that police officer. So yun yung mga posible na ground for the PNP to revoke yung kanyang license to own and possess firearms.
Okay. Attorney, way back kayo criminal charges. How about iti discriminate firing? Although haning nagpilat reklamo iti nagbalin nga biktima hangad babalin at ibiyang ti PNP nga tumakder kas complainant iti criminal charges against iti PNP personnel nga allegedly nga nakalbit or nagapaputok ti paltog apo attorney.
Okay, so ito namang indiscriminate firing. 'Di ba ang issue kasi dito, 'di ba indiscriminate nga. So as long as merong magtatayo na witness para dito sa kasong ito, yung indiscriminate firing kasi that would still constitute yung una pwedeng haharapin yan ng pwedeng kaso pa rin yan is reckless imprudence. Okay, so pwede pa rin pwede namang yung pwedeng na yan kaso ng indiscriminate firing, I mean. So ngayon pwede ba rin siyang liable? Pwede kasi unang-unang liability niya would be yung ating neglect of duty. So that would also constitute grave misconduct or the conduct of unbecoming a police officer. So na pwede rin niyang ikasuspenso, pwede niyang dismissal from the service, and of course the revocation of his authority to carry firearm. And that is on top of the criminal case that he would be facing, which is indiscriminate firing.
Okay. So, when nasawen, nadagsan, iti isang sangwen, iti kasto nga PNP personnel, nga involved, iti aksidente, nga paputok ti paltog, bueno, tagpaputok ti paltog, aglalo na dadi iti mapaltugan, attorney. Attorney, mo tayo, kasme sa criminal law professor, iti Northwestern University, kasanot kinay iget, kasano iti panakay patungpal, panakayadal, kaligiti criminal law student. Iti panagigam di paltog, attorney.
Yeah, so basically knowledge is power kumbaga. So doon pa lang sa kanilang criminal law subjects pinapaano na natin yan ini-inform na natin yung mga parusa or the penalty to be imposed in case these things will happen. Okay. So we always teach them to be responsible enough. Yung ating baril ay gagamitin lang sa tama. So yun lang dapat ito ay sang-ayon sa ating batas. So syempre kung yan ay dapat tama lang sa tamang paraan, and dapat we have to, sabi ko nga, you have to be reminded that on top of our being a public servant, diba? Nasa tagline nyo yan, to serve and protect the people. So at this always be responsible at all times. Okay, so yun lang naman yung laging ninyong tatandaan, be responsible at all times. We are not here to serve and protect our personal interest, but we are here to serve and protect the people. So kailangan, lagi kong ring sinasabi sa kanila, dapat magaling ka rin pagdating sa yung pag-aaral, dapat galingan ninyo kasi yung pinag-uusapan dito ay buhay ng ibang tao. And of course, kailangan alam din natin ang batas because we are not excused. Diba? Na hindi pwedeng dahilan na hindi natin alam ang batas. So kailangan mag-ingat din sa ating trabaho, lalo na kung kayo ay nakahawak ng baril. Okay, so dapat we always keep in mind that yung ating paghawak ng baril is a matter of responsibility. So hindi yan dapat pinagyayabang kasi otherwise that would result to a criminal offense, and you might as well face in cases of reckless imprudence. Okay, yung kawalan natin ng pag-iingat might even result to a criminal case, and of course it will follow yung ating administrative liability na sayang din yung pinagpaguran natin na inaral natin ng ilang taon, yung pagpasok natin sa serbisyo, ang daming gustong magtrabaho dyan, yung ending pala ay ganyan lang yung mangyayari sa atin because of our simple recklessness or negligence.
Uwen nga ro attorney, tingnan namon nga nakarigrigat ta sumrek, nakarigrigat iti ag training, samantalang no once nga dalay iti marami, especially iti panagigam ti paltog, dakkel iti naurnadagsan iti sangwon na, especially iti PNP personnel.
Yes,
attorney.
and
Attorney,
of course, we all,
maraming salamat manen. Kaditi oras manen nga panangi lawlawag ti kadagiti tapno ti kasakit wake up call, especially kadagiti kasarsarak nga iti serbisyo iti law enforcement attorney. Maraming salamat and malaksid attorney. No, dapat inayon mo. Go ahead, Attorney Kate Castro.
Yes, sir. Kanay ko remind always with my urehang kang estudyante or dadaka diti serbisyo, always keep in mind na we are there to serve and protect the people and not our personal interest. And of course, isipin nyo lagi na yan yung ating bread and butter, yan yung pinagkakakitaan natin. Kaya we have to treasure it. Ang daming gustong magtrabaho dyan, marami ding gusto na gusto magtrabaho, marami ka ng pinagdaanang hirap. So, and of course, coupled with it would be our responsibility to serve our country. So, hindi lahat ay merong pagkakataon na makapagserbisyo. So, we make the most out of it. Kung kayo ay nawawalan ng tawag nito, ng encouragement, so always think of the things that you have done in the past. Sabi ko nga yung proseso, ang hirap mong ginugol yung time mo just to achieve that. And dapat you know how to value it as well.
Attorney, once again, maraming salamat, Attorney Kate Castro. Ayun na po ni Attorney Castro